launch our usual April 21st LaunchPad webinar. Looking forward to a lot of information. Welcome everyone. Have see as new some new names that are joining us. Definitely look forward to sharing as much information in the world of online marketing, digital marketing, internet marketing, all of the marketing. So I'm joined this morning by Amalia, and before.
Yeah, oh, sorry, I was just gonna say good morning to everyone.
Yeah, sorry about that, Amalia. I think I'm getting a bit of delay, but just to make sure that I guess just wanted to make sure that everybody's hearing us. If people can just, if the participants can just let me know if you can hear me. Perfect. Thank you. Uh, Perfect, Amalia. So a lot of exciting things. Well, actually, you know what? I'm a little bit mixed in regards to what happened this past week. I mean, there was a lot of hoopla about mobile getting, and still, I know that you're going to be sharing some information about what's happening. Changes have not been as significant as we expected, but it's only the first week probably. So we'll talk a little bit about that in our latest news and articles. We have an interesting case study as well, and we'll move into questions and answers. So, Amalia, do you want to start with the first uh, item?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I want to share this article. It's basically Google confirms mobile-friendly algorithm rollout. It's completely live in some data centers. So I sort of want to bring this up and discuss it with everybody. So on Tuesday, April 21st last week, Google officially announced that they began rolling out the much anticipated mobile-friendly update. As expected, more and more searchers and webmasters are claiming they are seeing the impact of the mobile-friendly algorithm in mobile search results. Some Google representative confirmed that the rollout has 100% begun and is actually completely live in some of the Google data centers. What does that mean? Basically, it means that some searchers may be seeing the mobile-friendly search results on the mobile searches, while some may not. It also means you may see it 1 hour, if not another hour. Like it's all pending at this point. Google representative stated that the full rollout can take a week or more. If you see a different mobile search result experience, that is likely because you are seeing the rollout on your mobile device. Once again, a representative from Google stated that it's definitely rolling out. Some data centers have already rolled it out completely. It's something where I think you will probably see that the change over the course of the week, maybe a week after. It's something to that regard. For example, for the first day to the next day, you may not see a big change, where the week later you might see a substantial change. They have seen some blog posts out there, and they have noticed it's different. They tried to document the difference between the desktop results and new mobile results. So there are definitely people noticing the difference. SEO clarity has been updated, their data set as well, showing the impact thus far on the mobile search results. And as time goes by, those numbers show basically a larger impact. Any feedback there on your end, Armando?
The only thing that I want to highlight here is that even though the algorithm was launched last week, at this stage, I would give it a week or 2 weeks before we start seeing actual changes for for mobile friendly sites and non-mobile friendly sites. Obviously, if your clients don't have a mobile friendly site, they have to jump on it, right? Because at the end of the day, they're going to be affected. Keeping in mind that the mobile friendly algorithm only is only intended for mobile search results. So it's not going to impact any desktop results, right? Those will remain the same, but it will impact the results on mobile devices. Okay, so you will notice, for example, in this case scenario, SEO Clarity, which is a digital marketing agency, they kind of did a bit of a study. There are some companies that are taking this serious, and I just took a screenshot of their last day, which was Friday's snapshot of some of the desktop versus mobile rank comparison. So what they did was they took, I believe it was the top 10 rankings for across different industries. They did a lot of data on this, and they measured, what was the difference. And if you look at it, you can see that, the algorithm launched on the 21st, so there was 33.2% the same in regards to the ranking, the rankings for top 10. But as you can see that the difference actually started to happen, the variation it started to happen actually after the 24th. Right now, they've stopped kind of giving us some updates on this, but the key thing is that in the first 4 days, there wasn't, apart from the Friday, there wasn't any real changes that you can see. Okay, in regards to how those, the top 10 rankings on desktop versus the top 10 rankings on mobile, the impact hasn't been full yet. However, as of, there was a 5.1% variance towards the end of the week. So the key thing here is that it's going to take about 1 or 2 weeks probably for this algorithm to fully kick in. But we wanted to share that. Now, the other thing that that Amalia mentioned is that although Google has announced that some of the data centers have really rolled out the algorithm, that doesn't mean that all of them. And as a result, that is why we're still getting that slow, rolling out of this algorithm, which is going to take 1 or 2 weeks. My recommendation is that you keep an eye on your clients' mobile traffic, right, to see if there's, how it has been impacted in the next 2-3 weeks. And you can do this not only through Google Analytics, but also looking at their Google Webmaster Tools. I believe last week I shared with you how to look at mobile search queries, right? And if you keep an eye on that, you should be able to have a good idea of what's happening with your client site. Specifically, if your client site is not mobile friendly, that's when your next meeting you want to highlight the changes that have happened and how they've been impacted. And the idea is to encourage them to move to a mobile friendly platform. Okay, but just wanted to share that. I mean, I think that it wasn't really a mobile get-in because the world did not, the world remained the same. But as you can see, there's been some variance. Now, another report that came out was some of the winners and losers of the Google mobile get-in algorithm change, right? So, for example, in the left-hand side, there was a study done also. This one was done, I believe, by, I forgot the name of the company, Search Metrics. And basically what they did was on the left-hand side, you'll see the companies that actually had loss of rankings. And you can see that companies like, Reddit, which is, a major social bookmarking social network, also lost about 36% the mobile ratio versus desktop, right? NBC Sports has also been impacted. Songlyrics.com, which is basically a database of lyrics. These three sites are pretty important. Even Fool.com, which is actually an investment portal, portal or investment online magazine. They kind of suffer a lot. And as you can see, as you go down through this list, the ones that actually lost, for example, even census.gov. So some government agencies have been probably in the top 10 that have lost some rankings in regards to mobile versus desktop. So all of these rankings, by the way, are being affected on the mobile version of their website. Okay, so I just want to make sure and clarify that their desktop rankings could be the same. It's just that they're being affected in the mobile, and as the mobile it continues to increase, the number of traffic continues to increase. The traffic to these sites are also going to be impacted. On the other side, here are some of the winners that they had, and this was as of Friday, I believe. They actually had this as of Friday. TVtropes.org, GQ.com had an increase in ratio in regards to the ratio between ranking on a mobile versus desktop. So the higher the ratio, the better this is the main ranking in mobile than in desktop. These are the real winners of the mobile get an update so far as of Friday. So you can see that even the Washington Times, had it because they are mobile friendly, are getting some good rankings on a mobile friendly or mobile devices. Okay, so the key thing here is that some of them have been impacted. For example, on the left hand side, and interestingly enough, I would understand why Reddit and NBC Sports, Song Lyrics, and Fool.com, which are pretty top sites, wouldn't be mobile friendly by now, right? I'm pretty sure they're going to change that. But you can kind of tell your clients, look, these are companies that are pretty large, sizable, and the algorithm does not differentiate. They were impacted, and these are the ones that got impacted. Well, there's some others here on this side that have actually benefited from the change in the percentage of rankings, and ideally these rankings will lead to more traffic. At this stage, pretty much that's what they're tracking. It's all rankings that companies can track. They'll probably have more intel in the future in the next few weeks as this develops on the other side. Excellent. Another thing that I wanted to share with you is an interesting event that happened, I believe, last week, actually. It was last week in regards to LinkedIn's acquisition of lynda.com. Lynda.com is actually an online, it's an online education company, sorry. And this is pretty big. It's a pretty big move from LinkedIn, where not only they acquired it for $1.5 billion, and basically the goal is that this acquisition, kind of gives LinkedIn a bit of a wealth of information to allow their users to tap into this online education company. They have a lot of right now. They do have this company, lynda.com. They have a variety of different online courses available, and LinkedIn acquired that. And now the cool thing about why LinkedIn wanted to purchase this online education company was because obviously LinkedIn wants to promote the lynda.com services or courses or educational courses to their 350 million users, right? And now there aren't any really strong details on how they're going to do this, how they're going to approach and monetize this acquisition through LinkedIn. But just a matter of the fact that that lynda.com has a very, very strong plethora of instructional videos on topics such as web development, photography, and design. Now, one of the things that theories that's coming out is that LinkedIn now has the ability to identify skill gaps amongst its users. So one of the examples that was provided was that, for example, I am into web development, okay, and I'm looking for a job that will require me to understand .NET Nuke, for example, and I'm only certified. My last certification happened about 2 years ago, or maybe a year and a half. So the whole thing is, if I'm looking for jobs that I'm missing a specific skill set or a specific certification, so basically LinkedIn would be advertising or targeting me, some sort of a retargeting, these courses that I'm missing that will help my LinkedIn profile and will make my LinkedIn profile more suitable, more enticing to recruiters, right? So it kind of helps both the user in the sense that it identifies where my skill gaps are, right? And then I can purchase, or I can kind of sign up to lynda.com's courses online, right? And at the same time, recruiters then can search users who have taken a specific course. So it also puts lynda.com as a reputable educational company, right? And again, lynda.com then starts pushing all these specific courses towards the specific job listing. So if I go into a job listing and it says, I need the .NET Nuke 2015 and I don't have it, but it's right there on my face, I can see the fact that, okay, you know what, that's a requirement for this job. And then the ad pops up on the right hand side where lynda.com says, get certified for, .NET Nuke 2015. I'm just giving you an example, but that's the whole idea that LinkedIn and lynda.com have come together, or LinkedIn acquired them. Now, interestingly enough, another observation was that this is, as you may or may not have been aware, back in March there was a new initiative by the White House, and specifically in the U.S., because this is primarily for the U.S., what they call the Tech Hire Initiative, where education is moving a little bit to focus more on non-traditional avenues. So as opposed to actually having a brick and mortar school, online courses and coding camps and anything that's online, it's given the same level of recognition versus actually going to a traditional educational program where you're going to a brick and mortar school, whether it be a college or university, etc., to get certified. Now, part of the Tech Hire initiative is to allow individuals or professionals in the tech industry to upkeep their skill set by taking online courses, which are more cost effective and easier to manage, right? Because it's more flexible. It allows people to do it online. So anyhow, I thought this would be an interesting news. We'll probably be seeing this more news in the next, probably I would imagine the next 6 months of this in regards to this event, and I would imagine that we'll probably start seeing some Linda advertising happening on LinkedIn probably in the next 3 to 6 months as well. So we'll keep you updated in regards to this. But I thought it was an interesting piece of news for us to share, specifically for those that are involved in the aspect of social selling and primarily with LinkedIn. There may be some areas there that we can leverage from. At this stage, we don't know how, but there may be some areas that we can leverage from. Amalia, you were going to talk a little bit about some of the updates that were happening with
Yeah.
Webmaster Tools.
That's right, yes. So Google Search Analytics Report is now live for Webmaster Tool users. Basically, the article is start off with is Google Search Queries Report missing in Google Webmaster Tools. You may be part of a test where you are seeing the new Search Analytics Report. Google launched an alpha beta report named Search Impact Report within Google Webmaster Tools. Since then, Google renamed it from Search Impact to Search Analytics and has been making upgrades and tweaks along the way. Google replaced the Search Queries Report with Search Analytics Report for those users who have been beta testing it. And Google invited a couple of waves of webmasters to test and play the new report in exchange for feedback and bug testing. Google representative announced today on Google, or I should say last week, that they are now randomly upgrading Webmaster Tool accounts to see and use a new Search Analytics report. So if you log in to your Webmaster Tools and see that the search queries was removed and replaced by Search Analytics, you're basically part of that group. Google has made the new Search Analytics report available to a random sample of users. Google has stated that some of you might notice that they now have access to it, and in their Google Webmaster Tools account under Search Traffic in the left navigational menu. So if you go in there, you'll be able to find that there. They did note that the data is a bit slow to catch up, but it will be, progressively it will get a little bit faster. The new report currently has less than 90 days of data, but it will catch up within the next few days. Okay, so that's a new update with Google Webmaster.
Yeah,
Armando, any feedback?
Yeah, well, just to kind of get back into this, I think that this is a good move from Google to kind of share more information specifically with from an SEO perspective and analytics, because we've been deprived of that information for many years. And in this case, what they've actually done, number one, still a test. It's a beta test. So I kind of actually went through a whole listing of our own Google Webmaster Tools accounts to try to show an example. And unfortunately, either our team did not get invited for the beta testing, or we did not reply to the invite, so I can't really confirm that. But it is a very selective group of webmasters that are getting this ability to start seeing more information in regards to the actual search analytics. So I kind of shared the screenshot that they provided to us, where now you can actually see total clicks, total impressions, by search type, by device, by countries, and you can even actually look at CTR and positioning. So it's going to be a little bit more informative, more information than what we have right now with search queries. I'm just going to pause my screen for a second because I'm going to toggle to another screen. If you just give me a second. And I wanted to share, if I may, yeah. Right now, when you log in to Google Master Tools and you go to search queries, or under search traffic and you go to search queries, you can get some information, about what's happening on your website, right? And primarily, like I mentioned last week, these are queries based on the impressions that are happening on the keywords that you're doing, and what are those clicks, what are those keywords that are getting the clicks, and obviously the percentage of CTR, And one thing that they've added was actually a filter. And if you click on web, oh, I think I did that. Let me see here. Sorry. Oh, filter. Sorry. If you go to filters, you can actually, in some cases, um, here you can actually look at your mobile, right? So this is what they've kind of started working on. So now you can start tracking some of the mobile search queries that are happening on your website, right? So obviously, for example, what are the top keywords? You know, the number of impressions, the number of clicks, etc. And what they're trying to do is, based on the report that they've added, is really make it even better, right? They want to actually now start showing graphs, total clicks versus total impressions, and you can start playing with this tool to allow you to make better decisions from an SEO perspective. Again, it is in beta testing. I was hoping that maybe in one of the ICs may have may have been invited as a webmaster to participate in this, but it definitely will help, at least from an SEO perspective, to have more clarity on what's happening. I mean, they're giving us more tools for us to do. And I believe one of the things that they mentioned on this update is that I think it's going to go beyond the 3 months that they usually provide information on search queries. So we will keep you updated. It's something to look at, and that is why it's very important that if you're bringing on a new client, or you're working with an existing client, or you're bringing on a new client that has done some SEO in the past, that you got to make sure that their Google Webmaster Tools is fully activated, fully operational, because it's an important tool. It gives us a health check of what's going on the website. So we'll keep you posted on more updates as they move into this new reporting tool. Again, it's only a sample. They haven't invited everyone. They just have taken a sample of webmasters to do that. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Amalia. And another piece of news came from Forrester. This is I wanted to share this based on the fact that sometimes we get a lot of information in regards to B2C, in pertaining to e-commerce, and this latest report by Forrester, they're looking at changes on B2B buyer preferences, and you're looking at an approximate 1.1 trillion being changed or being generated type of revenue via e-commerce that is B2B. Okay, so this report was very interesting, specifically if you are pitching in a moment, if you're in the process of pitching an e-commerce solution, or lead generation, or transactional type of solution, whether it be technology or a digital marketing strategy, the opportunities that exist in the B2B space when it comes to e-commerce. So today, 74% of B2B buyers research at least one half of their work purchases online. So this is not somebody, like, it's not the consumer who's going to go buy a pair of shoes. This is a professional or a business that's going to, for example, looking at acquiring new machinery, looking at acquiring new products or new services. They actually, 74% of them actually spent at least one half of the work already purchasing online, and they're looking at 30% of today's B2B buyers complete at least half of their purchases online. So again, it's only 30% of all buyers where they're spending 50% of their time buying online, but that number is looking to increase to 56%. Okay, so this is a great report from Forrester because it really demonstrates the opportunity in B2B, right? Not only in the sense of selling, but also in the sense of reducing costs to serve customers, right? So the other interesting aspect, and I know that we were privy to that in the digital summit with Google, is the value of building loyal multi-channel B2B customers, where omni-channel customers spend more than single-channel offline only customers. For example, 60% of B2B companies report that their B2B buyers spend more overall than those customers interact with multiple channels. So omni-channel B2B customers are also more likely to become repeat and long-term customers. Now, an omni-channel customer is really a customer that looks at different mediums before making a decision. So it's a multiple channel customer, right? So again, great opportunity in the B2B space. If you are working with prospects right now, for example, in manufacturing, in the services field, and even in the other day I had one of the ICs actually looking at a company that rents and sells and leases tractors, and these tractors are 200, 300,000 up to 1 million plus, and they were wondering, should we go e-commerce, or should we, what can we do online to better to increase our sales? At the end of the day, if they want to make an impact, having the right website and having the right digital marketing strategy will allow them to better educate and actually create a very streamlined path to purchase or path to conversion, right? Whatever, it's a preference right now for them, whatever they're focusing on. So very great opportunity for Forrester. Just wanted to share that with you because sometimes we do tend to get a lot of information in regards to B2C and B2B, so it's fallen behind. This report kind of will give you that information that you may be able to share with your clients, well, with your prospects, in regards to them jumping on board and looking at e-commerce as a way of generating revenue. Okay. And as a matter of fact, we're kind of right now, I'm working with an IC right now that it's pitching. We're going to be submitting a full digital marketing proposal to a company that they actually sell, they import and they sell and distribute chocolate and candy. And for many years, because their model was being white label, they never built a website. They don't have, it's 2015 and they don't have a website presence, right? Because they never did that. 99% of their business comes through distribution, through their buyers, stores, etc. But now they realize that they missed out, and they have this aggressive plan to increase their overall revenue. I think it was by 10%. So, apart from looking at their existing network and how they're going to implement some of the strategies to increase sales and revenue via distributors, the other area is online. So now they're looking at the potential in e-commerce to provide them with additional sales and reach that goal that they have. Now, e-commerce, as we know, may not just generate online sales, but an e-commerce solution or e-commerce product catalog can, with its proper information, can lead to offline purchases as well. Anyhow, I wanted to share that with you. Very interesting. We do have another one. This is actually how to turn Pinterest into a revenue generating channel. This is actually from our friends at QuickSprout. And I wanted to share this infographic with you. For many ICs, or even for many companies, Pinterest is not really part of their overall social media mix, right? But I kind of wanted to share this with you, this infographic, and to kind of look at the importance also of where Pinterest is coming from and how you can apply it to your client's social media strategy. Typically we focus on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, LinkedIn, YouTube. But you know what? Pinterest is something that cannot be left to the side. It is something that's also can generate a specific end result, can generate ROI for your clients if it's done properly. So definitely wanted to share that with you. Just give me a quick second. I'm gonna pause my screen because I wanted to share the whole the complete and this is this is actually great. Even my thing with the QuickSprout team, sorry, I'm kind of going a little bit fast. My thing with the QuickSprout team is that all these infographics that they have are great for presenting to your clients. So if you're looking at presenting social media and you want to kind of showcase Pinterest, you can kind of use some of these screenshots, some of these parts, some of these elements of the infographic to educate your clients. So as you can see, just between 2012 and 2013, there was a 20% increase in users in Pinterest. Now we don't have any updated 2015, but I would imagine that that this is very important. Now that 20% increase was 20% more users joined or became users of Pinterest, Twitter and Instagram. Again, the battle here a little bit is between Pinterest and Instagram, not necessarily Twitter. Another key thing is that 1/3 of U.S. women use Pinterest. It's been up 25%, and 8% of U.S. men use Pinterest. So as you can see, women are strong users of Pinterest, where you're looking at 71% of Pinterest user base is female. So if you have a service or a product that targets that specific demographic, whether it be anything from food to clothing, fashion, beauty products, Pinterest has to be part of that overall social media strategy if you're looking at targeting female. Now I've just mentioned some categories. I mean, there's many more that you can kind of look at targeting women. And the key thing here is if you've developed a strong, if you've developed the buyer personas for your clients, you will be able to use that blueprint to target the users in Pinterest. Again, this was very interesting for me. I never expected this. Customers spend more money when converted from a Pinterest referral than any other social referral. So the average order value for Pinterest conversion is $80 versus Facebook, which is $71. And that was interesting to me because I would have expected Facebook to be a stronger influencer during the conversion process because A, there's more users, and B, it's a more reputable brand. That was what I thought. But it seems that obviously because Pinterest is gaining ground at the same time looking at the right demographic, they have a higher level of purchase or the average order value. 70% of brand engagement on Pinterest is generated by users, not the brands themselves. So again, it's a community in itself. And over 80% of pins are repins, which speaks to Pinterest virality. So again, I know my wife uses Pinterest a lot, and she loves baking, and she's always doing different things from cookies to cakes, etc. And she uses Pinterest a lot to post her stuff and to get ideas. Now this was also very interesting, specifically coming from QuickSprout. I never thought they went kind of deep into this study. 4 Pinterest mindsets, the intersection of need and timelines. Pinterest experience can be broken down to grid with 4 quadrants. Those ones that are maybe I could buy this, right? I know what I want. I mean, these are the guys this is the demographic that you want to go after. I know what I want, and I'm narrowing it down to, or just looking for. So you can see that there's also obviously a path to purchase and conversion, and based on a study done by Nir Eyal, Pinterest users only need to feel, not think, when pinning and sharing. So because it's such a visual social media property, it's all about the feeling, right? It's not a logical sequential, gotta think A plus B, or it's really about feeling, and that's obviously has to be portrayed by what you're sharing on Pinterest, right? So again, it's all about imagery. It's all about laying out professional pictures, etc. So that was very interesting. How to get more engagement on Pinterest. So again, they go into different areas of you as a professional social media expert on how you can actually improve your social media strategies in Pinterest. So for example, use of multiple dominant colors, avoid human faces, going with spare backgrounds, choose red, orange, and brown instead of blues. And it actually tells you that the ratio of repins is higher when you're using red, orange, and brown versus the blue. Okay, so maintain moderate light and color and saturation. So this is a very good study that you know what, I'm just going to share it here on the screen that you can kind of look at in your spare time and grab a lot of information for your presentations, specifically if you are looking at here we go. If you want to actually pitch or provide a solution, a social media solution, and using Pinterest. So do not leave it to the side. I think it's very important with the right strategy. And this is actually a kind of a small guide to on how to do it. The other thing that I wanted to show before I kind of move on to the next one is some of the most popular categories. And food and drink was number one. Again, if you have a client that is within this industry, is anything from a restaurant to even somebody that sells equipment to these in these categories, wineries or kitchen equipment or even equipment for the end user. Again, the use of Pinterest is very, very key. Okay, and as you can see here, the top categories for Pinterest, obviously number one, food and drink. Number two, DIY crafts. Okay, home decor, women fashion, weddings, design, hair beauty. So as you can see, those are some of the things that you can, if you have clients in this area, Pinterest should be in your social media plan. And obviously, when you're looking at female versus male, you can see that there's a big difference. In some areas, males have a higher tendency, for example, in home decor versus DIY. So females will tend to use Pinterest more for DIY than males would. So again, lots of interesting information on this study that you can just actually just do a whole webinar educating your clients on the use of the best uses of Pinterest. So just wanted to share that with you because I think that for your next proposals, social media proposals, you should be including Pinterest as part of your mix. Excellent. Just give me a second. I'm going to go back to my okay. So today I'm going to share with you a case study that we've developed here, and it's actually the name of the company is called Fusion Bodybuilding. It's a Canadian company. They actually provide muscle building supplements, workout gear, and more. And I can tell you that these guys are the real muscle guys, right? This is which is a highly competitive market, by the way. And I've been in the nutritional industry for many years, working with a variety of number of companies. And I can tell you that it's a great if you can acquire a client in the nutritional industry and you can generate them some results, you have a very good client. You have a client for life. And if you can target that vertical, you will be able to grow your business. So that's one area that maybe I'm biased towards because of my experience in the nutritional industry. But this case study, very interesting case study, fusionbodybuilding.com. You can't get any more into bodybuilding than this website. And the products and services they have are really muscle building supplements. Because we're in Canada, even though we are servicing North American markets, or they are servicing North American markets, they are out of Guelph, Ontario, here in Canada. I do know that they do sell only FDA approved muscle building supplements. So what were the challenges with the approach test back in July? They needed a new website. They wanted to provide a better shopping experience. For most of their target market had been muscle builder, professional bodybuilders, amateur bodybuilders. So they were kind of focusing a lot on that area, and they saw an opportunity to target beyond that. So kind of be seen just beyond muscle building supplements, and they wanted to actually focus also on workout gear and more, right? So one of the things that they wanted to do was develop a new website with a better shopping experience, improve their call to actions, and overall conversion optimization. Not that they had a bad website, they actually had a very decent website, but they weren't really increasing their sales. They weren't really getting what they wanted in the market. They felt they could do more. So another component, they wanted to make a mobile friendly website. Very progressive company. I mean, this is what they were doing back in July last year. So you know what, they were smart. They were getting ready for what was going to happen. Uh, Knowing the fact that when it comes to B2C and even the millennials, they're always on their mobile, right? So, and millennials, you know what, they'll purchase online on their phone. They don't really, I'm a person that even making an online purchase on my desktop, I'm very iffy about, and I am in this industry. But millennials, you know what, they're very keen on making purchases online using their mobile phone. So the company kind of saw this as a great opportunity for them to expand their brand, expand their products, and obviously increase revenue. They were also looking at a new company to develop an integrated SEO strategy. They wanted to move just beyond traditional SEO. And bottom line, increasing online was very key. So what was the solution? We developed an online marketing campaign. This is going by steps. The first thing that we did, we developed a new website. Don't ask me why we did it on Shopify. I personally, not the greatest fan of Shopify, but this is what the client wanted, and obviously, that's what we went with the Shopify e-commerce platform. I know there's a division between people who like Shopify, users that like Shopify, webmasters that like Shopify, and users that don't like Shopify, and webmasters that don't like Shopify. So I'm on the other side, but you know what? We had to do it in Shopify. It was a new website with responsive web design. We start with the 10 keyword e-commerce package. One thing that I do recommend is whenever you're looking at SEO specifically, because that's what they wanted to focus on, SEO specifically for e-commerce sites, make sure that you do your proper keyword research and connect directly with your supplier, or make sure that you have a well-rounded strategy for e-commerce, because an e-commerce SEO strategy is a little bit different than your standard strategy for services oriented companies, right? So you got to make sure that you have a proper keyword research that targets the best possible or the low-hanging fruit based for those 10 keywords that you're going after. Then the other thing that we did was even though they had content in the sense of videos, and they had a lot of videos on their website. One thing that they were missing was really a content writing strategy and a blog. So we kind of added that to the mix. So this was the solution, and I think I wanted to share their previous website just to show that they weren't that bad. I mean, what they were lacking was real actual text content, right? Because they had videos, they had their Facebook and their Twitter displaying on the homepage. They had some banners, but it was a little bit too busy, and they even had a poll. The bottom line is that I looked like the homepage was just too busy for them. I mean, I personally like their header, what they had previously. So this was their, unfortunately, I can't make it any bigger, but this is how their website looked like before the transformation, before we did the launch. So let me just share with you quickly as I toggle through slides. Their website today. Okay. Their website today is basically responsive. So we went for a responsive web design, and as you can see here, it's very, it's really very. I'm gonna go to the homepage. It's very aggressive. Kind of focuses on the bodybuilding. It's focuses a lot on their target market. And as you go down, you start seeing that we have more content. We're using a little bit of that scrolling parallax design. However, all of these are, they become individual pages. So a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit stronger. Very aggressive. Goes with the type of brands that they're promoting and your products. You have different products, and this is just a homepage. So these are your featured products. and obviously other different call to actions, right? Your sign up now, etc. One of the things, sorry, I'm going a little bit fast, so try to go slow. One of the things that we've seen, and I would recommend you test it on your clients, and this could be tested on an e-commerce website, on or a service-driven website, are the hello bars. So, for example, these free shipping on orders over $99 in Canada and $139 in the US has developed. We've seen good results. I don't have it in this specific case study, but when I talked to the team about it, they told me that they would definitely recommend it because it it does generate some good results. It generates the clicks. It kind of gives it that call to action. Okay, so we have all of our social media properties. That you have all your shopping, you have your team, and what we did have was the VIP section, which was really our article section, and the article section is really part of that blog component. Okay, so based on the request from the client, we had to differentiate different. We actually, it's one blog but different categories. So science, training, nutrition, anatomy, and competing. So now now they have more content, and some of the blog posts are very short, others are a little bit longer, but again, this was something that they never had. They did have, if you look at their old website that I'm sharing here, they did have a lot of videos in their video section, so we kind of have repurposed those, but again, looking at their new website, it's a little bit more, it's more SEO friendly, let's say. Okay. Although I will tell you that we've had some challenges with Shopify in the past. I didn't really ask the team about the challenges that we had with this specific e-commerce when we were optimizing. So this is the website, again, using a little bit of that parallax design, scrolling homepage, etc. And obviously your call to actions. You see how we're using green, very friendly color. So definitely have to work with your designer when you're developing your e-commerce, making sure that you're capturing all of that. So that was the website, and I want to show some. I'm going to show in a second some actual results that we had, and I will share that with you. So as I mentioned to you, the new website was built on Shopify, and we actually launched in early December, just ahead of the Christmas holiday, even though it was a little bit, last minute. I know that the team tried to do it in towards the end of November, but there were some delays, content that was missing, etc. So we actually launched in December 2014. And just looking at the first month of the website performance, by the way, their older website didn't have any goal conversions added to it. The client decided to do it only on the new website. So once we launched the new website, here we have the goal tracking indicated, obviously 72 purchases from December 15th to January 15th. I will tell you that in the nutritional industry, January tends to be a high month. December, obviously, because people may want to give that as gifts. But January tends to be a bit of a high month because, after all the eating in December, you want to start losing weight. And some people, they'll start kind of going online and looking at different products. But you can start kind of seeing that there were some great results coming out of the website just from launch. Our SEO strategy that we had started with them was really building a lot of content for them, blog content, on-page optimization, and you can actually see that it led to an increase in organic traffic to the website. Just when we compare the comparison here between February and January, actually doubled. So I thought that, okay, January, great, it's a first month of the year. People are looking at resolutions, New Year resolutions. They want to focus on losing weight, getting fit again, etc. But you can see that there was a higher number of completions of 86 total sales in January to 146. Right, so you can start seeing some of the results that were generated online, and you can start seeing some of the rankings. Again, as we move from month 6, month 7, and month 8, we're starting to move slowly. Sometimes when you're on the first page, it's specifically going after keywords, and this is for Canada, by the way, bodybuilding supplements, which in reality is a very broad keyword, right? sorry, it's a very competitive keyword. My apologies. It's a very competitive keyword. You know, they're moving very slowly towards the top five. Muscle supplements, you know, were 44, 43, and then obviously, you know, it took that long. It took 7 months to start kind of getting to the first page, right? Uh, Best supplements for bodybuilding, you know, again, very slow move. So you can see that there's some progression in keyword rankings. And I believe that, you know, I was reading an article, I think it was 2 days ago, where they're saying, yeah, you know what, keyword rankings are overrated, or they can be overrated. I think that it's a combination of keyword rankings, looking at your organic traffic, and at the end of the day, you know, setting up your goals on your website and making sure that everything runs smoothly, right? A plus B plus C, right? You have to have rankings to generate traffic, to generate conversions, right? So you can see some of the results that we've had here. You know, for example, best bodybuilding supplements, we went from 95th spot to 14th. Sometimes it just takes that extra time, you know, those extra months to kick in for all that SEO that you've built. It's kind of like you're pushing the you know, a big, you know, a big tire, you know, tractor tire up the mountain, and once you get it up the mountain, you know, if it's done properly, you can have some really good stable results. So that's why we say, you know, SEO takes time, right? So here we go again. Responsive website design. What were some of the results that we've had with that? 40% of all traffic to the website in March came from mobile devices. So we, you know, the client and us knew the potential of building the website in advance. And this is before the algorithm update. But you can see that we knew that 40% of all traffic comes from website. And this is just your organic traffic from February to March. You're looking at at the difference and an increase in traffic. Definitely, I kind of like this fact that we're kind of starting to work on the bounce rate. Typically, that's sometimes an area that takes a little bit more time. Like even our bounce rate right now is a bit high. So I know that the team's working hard to continue to optimize the site. Again, not you have to take into consideration that sometimes these bounce rates are not bad, or even exit rates are not bad, because they can always lead to offline sales. Okay. Sometimes people say, "Oh, there's a high bounce rate. That means that people are not." Well, sometimes, you know what, it could be different situations. But again, with an increase of offline sales being generated because of online initial touch points, that's something to take into consideration as well. So very interesting case study. If you want a copy of this case study, please feel free to let us know. I'm going to go right now into some of the questions. Not a lot of questions today. Okay. Well, here are our clients, and these are the services that we provide at ALM. You've probably seen that already. One of the things that I will ask the group, you know, is really, can you please don't forget to rate us in K2, give us a heads up, you know, let us know how we're doing, or send us an email with your feedback. Our goal is to make these webinars much better for you, provide you with the latest information, but also important case studies. What I would be just wanted to let you know that in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have an e-commerce webinar at one of our ALM LaunchPads. We're going to be guest speaking Matt Irvin. I know that I had him a few months ago, but I decided to bring him back just to focus a lot on the opportunity. The first time that he came and presented to us was really more on the technical side. But this time he's going to be talking a little bit more on the marketing side, how to pitch e-commerce. We're going to have a bit of Q&A with him as well. So I will definitely let you know in the next it's probably going to be in the next 2 weeks that he's going to be with us, and you know, hopefully you can attend. Again, if you have any questions, contact myself or Amalia via email, telephone, or Skype. Amalia, anything you want to share before we sign off?
Yes. No, just thank you, and we will be joining. And I look forward to next week.
All right.
Sorry about that. I had a little bit of connectivity issues there, but yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and we will be back next week. Look forward to it.
Take care. Have a great week, everyone, and best of luck on your sales and your client meetings.